Ah yes, so we're back at this subject again. If I wanted to, the previous video could have been easily 3 times as long, given the history of Piss Gremlin over here. So why have I decided to talk about this person again? Well, remember this part at the end of the last video? The fact that Buttons has been harassing this artist, Bunny Hopper, for months on end because he named a character Eden. Yeah, a big part of this is about that. You see, my bestie Bunny Hopper over here has been the subject of stalking and harassment for Buttons for almost 2 years. So this is gonna go from 0 to 100 pretty fast, so try to keep up. It all started with a fucking has-been character, or whatever the hell this is, I'm sorry Bunny. And Buttons was actually fine with it at the start, and then just, for some delusional reasons, decided to lose his shit over a goddamn name. Yes, a character name. What a way to start somebody's harassment. In the first thread made in September of 2022, Bunny Hopper made it clear that this behavior was unhinged and he hoped that Buttons would just leave him alone. Obviously, this would not happen given the fact that this video exists, so fast forward to October of 2023, Bunny Hopper released an extensive Google document detailing the harassment. To sum it up for you, Buttons would repeatedly use anonymous messages and alt accounts to harass Bunny Hopper. Examples would include death threats, suicide baiting, wishing bodily harm, victim blaming, dead naming, and just a bunch more. He would use the anonymous functions on Not Gonna Lie, Tumblr, and Curious Cat to do this, and was eventually caught red-handed. How was he caught? Well, Buttons has made it public that he was residing in South Carolina, and people were quickly able to get a hold of his personal info since it's been public for years. Bunny Hopper used Stat Counter, which is used in this case to keep track of the visits of a web page. It wouldn't take very long for Bunny to notice constant pings from a very specific location in South Carolina, where it's known where Buttons lives. Not only that, the ISP is the exact same one from the Not Gonna Lie messages, which is what we'll get into next. On Not Gonna Lie, all of these messages would come from the exact same ID, and when Bunny checked the ID's friends list, it came with 2 usernames, one of which is a username used by his most recent partner, the other one being a known mutual of Buttons. So there's pretty hard evidence to show that it is Buttons sending all of these messages down to the same physical location, IP address, and ISP. So now that we established that he's responsible for these messages, let's move on to the alt account. The Piss Gremlin would primarily use an account under the name Animamalda. The account would make fun of the fact that Bunny Hopper lives in an abusive situation, and being very jealous of the fact that Bunny Hopper is using a GoFundMe to get out of said situation. Oh yeah, and don't forget about the part where Buttons just dead names Bunny Hopper in a pretty creepy way. Yeah, just geez, what a fucking weirdo. So how do we know that this account belongs to him? Well, for one, an associate of Bunny's was able to acquire the IP address of the account, of course, and the alt account would use the exact same language and insults that the other accounts would also use. And when I pointed out that it was Buttons on Twitter through this infamous quote tweet,
"Yeah, but it was still horse shit that I believed. I believed you, and it made me look like an ass.
I believed you too!
The account blocked me, which is pretty hilarious. So, yeah, I might have struck a specific nerve there. I wonder what it could have been. Of course, the Piss Gremlin would try to act like the account isn't his in public, but everyone and their damn mothers knows it's him. As for the Curious Cat messages, I'm just gonna have a montage for you, because, yeah, there's just a lot of unhinged messages here, so, enjoy. Now, moving past the release of this Google document, Bunny would also detail art plagiarism. Bunny would make drawings like these, and the Piss Gremlin would quickly follow with identical posing. Why do I mention this? Well, the Piss Gremlin decided to pull a classic move and issue copyright takedowns on Bunny Hopper's plagiarism threads. And as you all know, in order to respond to copyright claims on YouTube and Twitter, you have to dox yourself to the claimant. So if you watch the first video, this behavior is nothing new. And because of this, I can't show the comparisons to you directly because I don't want to be copyright struck. But that's only one half of the issue here. In the midst of Buttons trying to hide his plagiarism, he did this to Bunny Hopper while he was at his lowest. Bunny recently lost his dog that he cared very much for, and is in danger of losing his job due to medical reasons. On top of the aforementioned not so good living situation I mentioned earlier as well. And since Bunny Hopper is an artist and uses his Twitter for, you know, the promotion of his artwork so he can get more commissions, the Piss Gremlin purposefully tries to take down his only method of viable income currently because he's a scumbag. He could care less that Bunny Hopper is at his lowest. All because Bunny Hopper named a character Eden. He is willing to literally try to fucking destroy someone's income when they need it the most. And of course, as you'd expect, no sympathy. Because you see guys, I'm the victim all the time, as it's always been. You see, I've never done anything wrong. Bunny Hopper is actually copying me, not the other way around. That is why I'm going to abuse Twitter's copyright system to take down the threads that call me out for my plagiarism because, you know, I totally didn't just copy his artwork almost immediately after he posted it on the exact same day. And now we're in current events where I come in to continue to document this deplorable behavior. Like I said before, Buttons, Kirby, Casimir, you know, whatever the hell you want to call him now, it doesn't really matter. He will never change, just like I said before, and will continue to antagonize people until the day that he dies.